cool story of triumph, a story of kind of going through the grind of wholesaling, the struggles of it, and really finding a way and breaking through. And so what I want to talk about is Ace. Ace is he's a cool guy, and he's even a cooler wholesaler.
I ain't that cool.
He's got a cool story, and to see his growth since the last event we did, it's just been insane. And don't want to spoil him at all. His name is Ace Cox, and he's a cool guy. So Ace, welcome on, man.
Appreciate you. What's going on? You good?
Start.
Hey, look, so if I start rambling, like somebody just get an orange and just throw it at my head and I'll be good. But no, I just want to first say thank you to Zach and Rick for allowing me to come up here and talk. It wasn't always like this. I had found Rick and them back in 2020. I actually was listening to other people first, and then I had found Rick and them like off of a random YouTube video, and from there I was locked in. But just want to thank them. But yeah, who I am, my name is Azariah Cox. Everybody knows me by Ace. I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia. Anybody from Virginia in here? Nobody's in Virginia? All right. But yeah, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I wear a lot of different hats. I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a father, I'm a photographer, and now I'm transitioning to a real estate investor. So the last six years has been crazy. I started my wholesaling journey, like I said, in 2020 during the pandemic. Prior to that, like I said, I'm a photographer, so I did a lot of music photography. So I probably traveled with some of, if you listen to, I was in the hip hop genre, so hip hop and pop. So I was probably with a lot of artists that you probably listen to musically. I toured around the world, been all through Australia, all through Europe, New Zealand, all through the United States. So that was my identity, which it still is, but that was what I was doing before real estate. So transition to 2020, I just got back from Australia. I'm thinking life is good. We're in 5-star hotels. I'm traveling here and there. I'm taking photos. I'm doing stuff with Vogue. I'm doing stuff with GQ, and pandemic hit, shut down. Everything closed, everything stopped. No money coming in, nothing. So then I had to file for unemployment. At this point, I moved back to Lynchburg, which is the market that I'm in virtually. Started there. Lynchburg's very small. It's growing now because of Liberty University, but very small. Yeah, that was a struggle. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know who to call. I didn't even know where to go. So when I found Rick and them, that was the best thing that ever happened. I got these notes here so I don't ramble. But yeah, it took me about 7 months to get my first deal. 7 months. I started off driving for dollars, like everybody. Raise your hand if you ever drove for dollars. Yeah. It's the best way to your first deal, if you ask me. Still to this day, I'll drive around. I mean, it's like when you get into wholesaling, it's like you start using your eyes different when you're in your car. You start to see opportunities different. So I had to train my eye to do that. So yeah, drove for dollars, started learning how to talk to sellers, fumbled many of times. I mean, there was times when I got on the phone where my girlfriend at the time, but now my wife, she would be like, yeah, like, come on, keep going, you got it. And I'm just like, no, I don't. I just got cussed out. And I'm about to go run. So it was really challenging at first. Transitioning to cold calling, hand dialing. Then I originally got like a dialer. I think I was using Batch at the time. And mind you, I didn't have any money. When I say I didn't have any money, I mean, even if I thought I had 2 nickels to rub together, I didn't have. So it was just mentally, I was going through a stage where I've done so much in my past and everything looks great on Instagram, but I don't have no foundation for myself in order to grow. It's not necessarily that I was paying for everything, but but I wasn't getting anything in either. That's a weird space to be in. When you're traveling, you're doing your passion. Photography is my passion, but real estate is my it's another passion that I grew now. But when you're doing your passion and you're not making money, but you're also not spending money, it's a weird place to be in, especially when you got, when you got a significant other that's trying to, grow with you. And, then you start talking about, oh, we want to move in. And it's just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So that was a struggle for me out front. And, I began to get traction, started hopping in the lives to, Flip with Rick. I watched, and I don't say this like to, exaggerate it. I probably watched every single YouTube that they got on their video, on their channel. It was to a point where I watched them so much that my algorithm didn't transform into anything but Rick and Zach in them face. It's like I was almost married to them. I'm like, God, bro, I see y'all more than I see myself. So like, yeah, that's what I did. And I still do that now. I still hop in every live. I still humble myself. I'm still trying to stay current to what's going on in the market. The worst place you could be in life is living delusional. So I didn't want to get into a place where I was getting a little traction and then I've arrived and I don't need to do anything else. So transitioned 7 months later, got my first deal. Took me 7 months. It actually came from a buyer. I said this a little bit yesterday, but my first deal came from a buyer because usually we're in the mindset of, I'm looking for a motivated seller, somebody who wants to sell their house. You're not thinking about like a buyer could be a seller. So when he told me, he had like this site, and he's actually my #1 buyer in my virtual market. Excuse me. He told me, he said, I have this site, I put all my properties on, go sell one. He was busy, flipping 400 houses a month, that whole thing. So I had one and I got the deal and I sent it to a buyer that I met at a REIA group. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a REIA group. Yeah, REIA groups are great if you get in the right energy in the room. Like you meet a lot of different people. I met him at a REIA group, and he was like, "Dude, I'll take it." And I was just like, "Oh, for real?" I'm in my head. I'm like, "Okay, cool. What next?" So I sent him the deal, and he signed it. He sent the EMD, and 7 months no income, $4,000 check in my pocket. I'm rich. No. But it was the proof of process that did it for me. You get what I'm saying? So transitioned into that, got $1, hired a VA, and we got to that point of growing from there. I wanted to talk about where my mental was in growing, because I know a lot of people in here. Sometimes you might be trying to get your first deal, you might have got a couple deals, so you're trying to get your 4th or 5th deal, or you might be having a great deal flow and you want to retain it. My mental was, I need to take myself serious. If I want anybody else to take me serious, I have to take myself serious. So I started really drilling down into my systems, and mind you, I'm still in Lynchburg during this time. And when I moved to Richmond, anybody who knows Richmond, Virginia, it's a very, I don't like using this word, but it's a very saturated market. I probably compete with about 20 wholesalers per deal. So you ask yourself, how can you compete with 20 wholesalers per deal? You gotta separate yourself. And how I separate myself is, I just be genuine. I try to meet people. I try to connect with people. I'm always asking questions. I'm always trying to inquire about how we can push the needle forward. So that translated into me moving to Richmond. I then started doing direct mail right after I started cold calling. And Rick had just dropped the mailingmastery.com, and I did that in 2021. And I spent, I think it was like $969 on like my first campaign. I mean, it was bad. I was just clicking stuff, and I was just happy to do it. I got a deal that was like $10,000 from that one campaign, first campaign, and my mind was blown. I was just like, wow, there's no way you could do that. I don't know the return percentages and all of that. You got to tell me what the percentages are, but you can't put your money into the stock market and get that kind of return that quick And now when I say that quick, that was about 30 days that translated. So that helped propel me forward to really diving into mail. And I was able to scale up a lot with that. I was very sporadic. I wasn't consistent. I did it here and there. You know, whenever if the sun rose on a certain side of the day, I'm like, all right, Bill, I'm gonna do it today. And if it didn't, I'm like, oh, well, I'll just do it in a couple weeks. And I didn't like how inconsistent it was. You know, like one thing in wholesaling, you got to stay consistent. You know, you can't just do one thing in January and think that, oh, if you pick it back up in August that you're gonna have results. It don't work like that. It never will work like that. You got to be really militant on how you do it. So I was able to do that, and you know, fast forward to 2024, you know, March we closed fast forward, December, I joined Mail Into Millions, which is another sector of Rick and, you know, what they have for direct mail. Me and Corey dialed in, and with the help of, you know, Rick and everybody, and Corey was just telling me, like, look, bro, I know you wanna grow, but you're gonna have to get uncomfortable, and this is what you gotta do. And I was like, all right, I hear you. So I did it, and you know, March was probably my biggest month in the last 4 years. We closed now it's 10 deals. I closed 2 deals that we did from my first campaign, and then that translated into the other 7. And then we have 2 more pending to close next week. So we was able to do that, and you know, you do all of that to get to this point of like, where do I go from here? Like, how do I continue to grow? How do I continue to like not hit a roadblock and, you know, just cut everything else out? You just gotta have faith, man. Like, you gotta have faith. I didn't want to, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never even thought about wholesaling. I've seen people do it, you know, but like I thought it was like a fake thing, you know. I thought it was just like the next hottest, you know, trend. You know, you got stocks, you got this, you got that. One thing we have in life is a lot of options. So when you got a lot of options, you really don't know which way to go. So ever since then, I've just been really just dialing in, trying to meet people, trying to stay consistent. And, you know, we were able to, you know, get to this point of now. And, you know, I just got to thank my family, my wife for supporting me, because, you know, it was really hard. And even to this day, I still lose deals. I still have people hang up on me. I still have people trying to go around me. But the way that I build rapport, there's nobody that's gonna be able to do what you do. And when I say you, I mean like each and one of us here is best as you can. And what I had to get out of my way of understanding is you can't go to everybody for advice. Like, I don't go into Taco Bell looking for hot dogs. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't go I go where I know people, where the value is. I know where I can build from. So that's a little bit synopsis of my story. But yeah, we're here now, and we're rolling. Richmond is great. I love my market. I do very well now. I love my Lynchburg market. Eventually, I do want to get to other parts of the U.S., but right now I'm trying to master what I can in my own market. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to have the fear of missing out. You know, you might hear somebody going crazy here in Dallas. Oh, well, I'm gonna just jump to Dallas because I know that they can do deals here, or in Michigan, or in Pennsylvania, or in Cali. Like, you gotta stay in your race. The worst thing we can do in life is compare our life to somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a believer, so like I believe like, yo, you gotta have faith in what you have. And you can't always worry about what other people have, because then that's taking your focus off of you. You get what I'm saying? And I was telling the group in the back, like, we got to stop letting losers try to teach us how to win. You got to be around winners. You know, you got to be around winners. That's the only way you're going to win. You got to be, it's a proximity thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's more, as you stay in proximity with people that you're connecting. If you haven't shook everybody's hand in this room, you're doing yourself a disservice, because what did you come here for? You came here to look good. You know, you came here to do deals. You came here to connect, you know? So we got to stop making excuses. And these are questions, I'm just telling you things that I had to tell myself over the years is stop making excuses, stop thinking everybody cares to hear your excuses, double down, do the work, and you're gonna see results. So I'm just thankful to be here, and any of y'all know y'all could come up to me and holler at me. Like, I ain't really, I'm down to earth, bro. Like, I'll talk to anybody, but, just make sure you at least shake everybody's hand in this room, because you never know, like, you will shake somebody's hand who could put your first or next 5 deals in your hand. You just never know. So stay in the race, man. Stay in the race, and, just stay true to yourself. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Yeah. Appreciate it. I had like Oh yeah, and then so yeah, just for a little proof of process. Yeah. Other way. This is harder than it looked. So yeah. So when you really like think about it, like, I show this for, motivational purposes, because I was able to change my family's life. I'm able to help my wife. I was able to help my wife not work the whole last year because I just had a baby. She's 13 years old. I'm able to help my wife not work for a whole entire year. I'm able to help my parents. I'm able to help myself. I help a lot of people in Richmond and in Lynchburg get their first deal. I got this one story. I think I told some people, it was like, I got a call, and it was from a wholesaler in one of my virtual markets. And he calls me, he's like, yo, bro, can you help me? I got this deal. I'm like, yeah, bro, send me the deal. Like, is it locked up? He said, yeah, it's locked up. All right, cool. He was 17 years old. The deal wasn't even in his name. It was in his dad's name, because he wasn't, of course, 18. He's calling me. I'm walking him through how to talk to the title company, what to say, talk to the seller. And, bro, I'm like, yo, why are you whispering? He said, bro, I'm in class. I said, you're in class? He said, yeah, bro, I'm in class right now. My teacher's getting mad. And it was that moment that I realized, I'm like, bro, when I was 17, I'm 28 now. I'm about to turn 29 in May 12th. So if y'all want to send me a birthday gift, I'll just play. No, yeah, bro, so we did the deal, and my buyer bought it immediately. Like, he didn't blink an eye. It was cheap. He bought it. We did the deal in less than 24 hours. We closed it the next week. And he was like, dude, it was that simple. Like, yo, that's crazy. And he's like, man, I want to do it more. I'm like, I wish I was doing that when I was 17. Like, I wasn't worrying about none of that when I was 17 years old, bro. Like, I wish I was doing that, like, so that was an eye opener for me. And, I'm just happy. I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy for, and that's my Instagram too, if y'all want to follow me. I'm genuinely happy to just help sellers. I'm genuinely happy to like meet people. Like, this is the happiest I've been in my life. And don't get me wrong, like, my past life was amazing. And I don't want to say like past life, but it's like I don't do it on the scale of what I was doing it then, because now my mindset is different. Like, I don't have to just do photography for income. It kind of took me out of my passion of art, because at a point in time when I figured out that I was actually good, when you figure that out, then what? You want to monetize it next. So when I wasn't able to monetize it the way I was really just doing things just to do it, to get some quick cash in. So now this has allowed me to come back, and now I can do my passions freely, and it just flows. Everything's not perfect, but I am happy now, and it's peaceful. So I hope that whatever you can grab from that, you can, but you just can't give up, man. Like, I'm okay with going through 3,000 no's a month to get one yes. I'm okay with that. I've put myself mentally in that realm to understand that. I actually love no, because the no's humble you. Every time we all have been there. You talk to a seller, you just feel good, and then they might hang up in your face, or you just be like, dang. And then you hang up and you pick it up again, and then, dang. So you just gotta stay in the race, man. I just encourage all y'all to stay in the race. Come talk to me if y'all got any questions or anything. Like, let's build. So yeah, that's all I got. Did y'all have any questions or anything while I'm up here? Any questions? Anybody? Y'all good? Yeah.
Let me get this real quick. If any of you guys, I think you have this one. There you go. If any of you guys are having the same results as them, you don't have to. But if you want to hit these results, you should probably ask them a couple things. That's all I'm saying. So if you have questions, let them know.
Yeah, for sure.
He wholesales a little differently than me too, so it's a little different.
Oh my God.
And we're not the same, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, for
we do
sure.
it differently, so.
Yeah, for sure.
If you have questions,
What's going on, bro? What's your name? Sebastian. What's good, bro?
I was wondering, like, how many cold callers do you have?
So that's the weird thing, cold callers. So I kind of switch, and this also goes into like the last point. I'm glad you asked that question. I had to figure out what's working for my business, and like we were talking in our group, like my biggest challenge was time management and prioritizing. So I actually switched my cold calling systems now to like all of my mailing systems. So I answer all of my inbound leads myself. I go and still qualify, and I have partners in different, in my market, in my virtual market, who help me put all of the pieces together. But actual cold callers right now, I took my VA off of it just because I didn't like the fact that, and this is not to say that it doesn't work, like cold calling works, and it is the number one way, like it works. So don't take this as it didn't work, but I had to get out of the fact that she wasn't productive and I could go call the same list and get a deal that same week. So it just wasn't productive enough for me in my situation. But I don't currently have any cold callers.
So you're all in on to like the ROS?
I'm all in ROS right now. My next hire would probably be, we were talking about a data manager yesterday, and I actually kind of like smart. So I could get her back going, but my next is probably gonna be somebody answering my inbound calls. And then that will give me enough time to free myself up to really train her. And she was good. I switched her from cold calling to text messaging. And then when text messaging went a little south, I just took her off of it, and she's just doing like background tasks now, like more like administrative work whenever I, can't get to my phone. Because like I said, I still do other things, so, it works. Mailing is very patient though. You're not gonna mail Friday and the floodgates of heaven open Wednesday. It just doesn't work like that. I had a deal, this deal, as you can see the date, that was 1 year and 9 months I worked on that. Everything possibly went wrong with the deal. Everything. So, sometimes you gotta work it. What's good, bro? What's your name, bro?
I'm Alex.
Alice?
Yes, Alex.
What's good, bro?
So I was wondering, do you because I know some people like it, some people don't, but like reaching sellers, like the same seller more than one way. Like you said, you like to go drive for dollars, so you drive for dollars, and heck, you might even do a reverse drive for dollar, leave a post note on the door, then later call them. Say they don't answer the call, you put them on your mailing list, postcard. Say that doesn't work, you text them, whatnot. You like reach them like a couple different ways.
Yeah.
You ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage everybody to do that. Sellers respond to what they want to respond to. So you might have a seller that only responds text messaging because they work all day. So they're not about to sit on their phone and want to hear you talk. I mean, you also want to get them off of text messaging and get them to call, get them on the phone as quick as possible, but text message only might work. Or you might have a seller who only answers calls and don't like texting. Like more of my older sellers, they don't do text messaging. So I got to call them, and I got to call them, and I got to call them. And then some people just only look at mail. They love the idea of getting up, going to their mailbox, checking their mail, coming in, sitting down, call you. That's their day. So it really just depends on, who you're dealing with. But yeah, I would definitely touch different methods, because that's how you test too. In wholesaling is nothing but trial and like you're just testing, and whatever works, you put money into it and double down, and you expand on that. So definitely recommend that. What's going on? What's your name?
Alicia.
Alicia. What's up, Alicia?
Do you cater the mailers to the list you pulled it from? Or are they all getting the same message?
Say that again.
So do you have a different message per list you're sending it to? Or
No, but the way that the ROS is set up, I keep it as simple as possible. I've built so much rapport with my sellers, and this is true. Like they will show you other mail. I used to hear Rick saying that. I'm like, bro, there's no way they do that. I have walked into a house and they're like, look, I have no reason to bluff to you. This is all the mail that I got. And I see each and one of my competition. And it's so crazy. Like one of them I seen, they're giving their life story. One of them, it's graphic. So I try to keep it as clean and simple as possible. Once you dive into the ROS system, you'll see kind of like, once you go through the course, you'll see the way that it's set up. And I just keep it like that. I add an email to it. My first deal in Richmond was actually from ROS, but he responded to my email. So isn't that weird? Like he emailed me and said, hey, I got your mailer, and then I called him immediately. And I was, we got the deal. What's your name?
Ivan.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Or Ivani.
I just do that because everybody, necessarily doesn't know everybody. But how are you?
Yeah. How many mailers do you do in a month?
So mailers right now, when I started, like I said, it was a bare minimum, like 500. Now, since December 8th, I did about, let's look at it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, we did. So yeah, my first mailing, I did about, it was like 6,700.
In a month?
Yeah, in a month. And then I batch it out because I used to do it all. And this is the beauty of getting in community and figuring out what's work. I used to mail everything at once. And dude, it was so daunting. I might get 10 calls in the same day, and then I don't get no calls for the next 3 weeks. So now I stretch it out, I batch it, so everything doesn't come in all at once.
This has your numbers already if you wanted to tell.
Oh yeah. See, Corey's on it. Give it a hand for Corey, man. So yeah, my first mailing with the group was 6478. And then fast forward, well, it was 64, then it went up to 68. And then, that was the 2, but then it went up. Now, I just mailed one, my bad. I just mailed one a couple weeks ago, and it was like 7,900. So I batched those out. And I love the idea of sending it out on Friday. I get calls coming in Wednesday, and I could track them easily because now every week, I know I can expect a mail to come out every single week. So that's the way I do it. So I started off with like 500, and now I'm up to like 7,900. You got to figure out what you can handle. You see what I'm saying? Because you can send out 10,000 mailers a month, but if you can't handle that volume, you just wasted your money. Congratulations. So, yeah. What's going on with Sebastian?
Do you send out mail to the same person twice? And if not, how do you make sure that you don't do that?
I wrap it into like zones now. So now that I do it, I zone it out. So I might mail, say for instance, in January, I mailed a certain zone area of my, and I could show you, later on. I map it out of my geographical location of where I'm mailing that day. And I go by zones. So I'll make sure I don't hit the same zone within like, I'll say about 4 to 5 weeks. I try to keep it a space. So I'll mail zone 1, 2, 3, and then now I'll go back to 1, spread it out, 2, spread it out, 3, spread it out, and then trickle in. The thing about Lynchburg is it's not that many, it's very slim. So you got to add a lot of volume, but you got to also increase your values up. And all of that's prop stream talk. I just don't want to bore everybody right now, but we could talk about that. Yeah. But anybody else? What's going on, bro? What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
I've never even seen a deal half that size. Do you think you could break that one down to $65,000?
Oh yeah, so that's beautiful. That was the one I was telling you about. That helped my wife not to be able to work the whole year. So it actually came in from mail. I wasn't in the program at that point, but I was mailing. I think I mailed out 4,000 mailers. And I had a lady call me, and the lady called me, she's like, hey, I got your mailer. I'm looking to sell. I was gonna stay here. Mind you, across the street was abandoned elementary school. And there was a developer who just bought it, and they were getting ready. It was like 9 acres. And they were getting ready to level the whole thing out. Everybody in this area was waiting for this project to happen. So she actually bought the house because of that. Because, when new money's come into an area, first thing we hear or we see is growth. So I went over to the house. My thing that I like to preach is I'm very militant when it comes to being the first one at the house. So I was just the first one out there. She called me, and we didn't even. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is how it was the right place and right time. She was just ready to move back to Baltimore, Maryland, and she wanted to sell it. She didn't really want to deal with a realtor. She wanted to sell it off market, and she just wanted to get a fair offer. The house was worth $240, so let's keep the $240 number. That's how much the house was worth. I got it under contract for $98,000. Now, yeah, 98 is crazy. I didn't fight her. She was like, look, I just want 98. I could have went for 95 or 90, but I'm like, I already knew. This is the beauty of knowing your area. Once you start really putting in time, you start to know your market. I knew it was a deal. I didn't know how good of a deal it was until I sent it off to my buyers. And when you got a good deal with your buyers, they start foaming at the mouth. And they start like, hey, I'll take it right now. I'm like, hold on. And then about 4 to 5 of them did the same thing. I was like, you know what? I got a little cash. Let's wholesale it. The reason why I said I wholesaled it was because I realized it was so much. I could have wholesaled it for about $30K. But we wound up putting a little money into it. It was like cookie cutter. Like all I had to do was replace. We did like a little bit of flooring and some paint, and flooring, paint, and it was like a spot on the roof. It was very easy, and we wholesaled it. We staged it. That helped a lot. My partner in Richmond, he's actually a realtor. He's also a mentor too. He really took me under his wing. He introduced me to all of his private money lenders, all of his cash guys. He buys a lot too. He's a really, really big buyer. And me and him built a great relationship. He sent me his lender and we were able to do it. I think we were all in the deal. I think I put like 11 grand down. And we got the full rehab. I didn't have to pay anything. And that's another thing too. I know it's a little bit like over, but like even when you have a great deal, lenders know as well because we got it at 9%, no interest. It was easy. So we just wholesaled it and it stayed on the market for 2 days and we got over asking price. We priced it at like around like 230. We had an offer come in at 242. And yeah, that was crazy. That was right before my daughter got born. The biggest blessing ever. So, yeah, and I could show you more. I could show you the house and all that when you see it. But it was good. One thing too, like before I go, 65 is amazing, but don't sleep at I still do deals for 1,000. I still do deals for 1,500. I still do deals for 2,500. I don't care about the amount. I want to get the deal done so we can roll that into something else and keep deals going. Detach away from the revenue. When you're starting out, don't worry about the revenue. Worry about the process. The process is going to take care of the revenue. It works. So yeah. Anybody else? Any more questions? They had me like an hour up here, so I'm just like, I don't have that much to talk. I'm not that important.
Okay, Bonnie again from Michigan.
What's up?
2 things.
Yes.
I see that you have quite a few different checks. So
Yeah.
you don't work with a certain title company, you just let them.
No, so recently, and it's also the change of the market, buyers are very,
Aggressive.
buyers can get very picky. So I've built a great relationship with my title company. Corey's actually got to talk with her. She's amazing. She sent me buyers. She's sent me attorneys to go to, and this is stuff that hasn't happened. Having a relationship with your title company is probably one of the most important things you can do in wholesaling. You know why? Like they said, they know buyers, they know wholesalers, they know attorneys. The deal we just closed Monday, if I didn't know who that attorney was and that he could help my seller out, it would not have happened. It just wouldn't have happened. So title companies is important. That's really one of the most important people. I take that very serious. I got it to the point where deals have fell through, not even my fault. I'll still give them a little bit of money for the time that they use for, pulling the title and stuff. It works. It's $200, $300, $400. $200, whatever. I'll pay that to keep the relationship so you'll know that I'm not just out here just looking out for myself. Title companies work. They work hard. So that's a great question.
Another question that I had in my part two was, do you get cash buyers from your title company?
Yes, I have. Yet again, the one that I was waiting on for like a year, she had title company, not title company, the lady had called up to the title company and was just telling her, hey, she's looking for more deals and stuff like that. And my lady, I sent her all of my deals. And I got other relationships, in Richmond as well, but she had sent me that buyer. She said, such and such is looking for this, and I know you usually get this, so she connected the dots. Simple. It made it happen. It didn't start off like that. I had to build that. But it works. So, yeah, that's one thing.
I have some more questions.
What's up?
So you talked about time. That's one thing that I'm struggling with because I have other obligations. So do you set office hours for yourself?
Yeah, I was just talking, I don't know, I think I was talking to Achilles maybe, or Matt, it was one of them. Right now, like I said, I try to hit the gym in the morning. I'm an ex-athlete too, so I ran track like my whole life. I tore my Achilles in 2017, so the last couple of years, I'm really getting back into the gym like serious. So gym time is usually in the morning. I'll come back. My wife just opened a salon in Richmond. She's a cosmetologist, really great. And she usually is at the salon midday, and I'll just work with my daughter. I can only base things off of how it is now, because how it was is not how it is now. So like, it used to be, I'll just do whatever I can all day. So when you got a kid, you got to prioritize a little bit better. Now I'll get a call coming in, we're chilling, and she might be crying because she's hungry. She might be just wanting to play. And you can hear her in the background of calls, and you can hear her crying or whatever. And I thought it was a bad thing at first. I'm like, God, I'm always muting my phone. And then one seller was like, don't feel bad about that. Like, you're taking care of your your child. Like, I know that you're a real person now. And, a lot of these people, they call and I'm such and such at, you know how it is, bro. I'm the biggest, buyer and whatever, bro. Like, nobody want to hear that. Nobody cares, bro. Like, nobody cares. So that actually worked in my advantage and a little. I know this sounds weird, but like they know I'm a real person now. And then I just go meet them immediately and get it done. So yeah, prioritizing time is key now. I try not to work too late because, I still gotta turn it off and turn it on, because I'll go all day. It's been times I will wake up, I will watch them for about 2 hours, go drive, watch them on the way driving, leave. I used to do it in the aspect of I'm a learn as you go. So whatever I'm doing in that moment, I'll go search a criteria of what they're talking about during that time and look at it while I'm doing it. So that's how I kind of like work. I don't like just sitting down and just studying for 8 hours and then going to take action. I'd rather take action during those 8 hours and do it together. So time management is key though. And I know your situation and what you be telling me, and it's admirable what you're doing. And, I'm proud of, what you've been able to do, especially how your time is with your different jobs and businesses and stuff like that. So please take time management serious and prioritize yourself. And take care of yourself too. We don't talk about that enough. Like, there's no way you're gonna be able to perform if you're not taken care of. If you're dragging and you don't have your stuff together, sellers judge you. They do. They looking at you, they're Googling you, they're probably Googling you while you're on the phone. I've had people call, like I give people my title company name now. I just give it to them because they're gonna do it anyway. They're gonna go on Google, just like how they go straight to Zillow. They're gonna go on Google, see who you are, and they're gonna see if you're legit or not. They're gonna ask around. So, yeah, that's that. Cool. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Ace is a cool guy. He's doing a lot of deals, and I think we all strive to be at his point one day. So,
Thank you,
give a
bro.
shout out to Ace one more time, and
Thank you, bro. Oh, the mic. I'm gonna take the mic home.
So, next year we got
Thank you,
something
bro.
pretty pretty exciting.
Love,
Something we're everyone's been asking for. So actually, this is Ace's contact information. FYI.
Yeah, text me, call me. I was like, bro, y'all think I'm that important?
Seriously, DM them, deals, anything like that.